Oh my God. All we can do is laugh and smile.
We
I
did
don't
it.
know that. I can't believe we got 55 points. Yeah, that is
Don't feel like watching movies, so I'll watch people guess them instead. I don't know how it goes, I think it starts with your show.
That made my day. Unbelievable. Folks, we're just getting caught up on football because there's nothing else going on. And Joe just informed me Jamar Chase got 55 points for me, which is pretty good. But Tyler Oakley's quarterback, Burrow, still got like 33 points. So it's still not quite totally in the bag, but we're going to see what happens.
Oh, you notice I had a really sweet moment that involves Tyler Oakley. Now, came up yesterday, I did a podcast with many of the queer folk from the React cast, and we were doing coming out stories. And they just happened to casually say, like, the question that was like thrown up into the air was something along the lines of like, was there any surprising areas of support or people that inspired you on your journey? And they're all kind of like Gen Z-ish, mid-20s-ish. And then they started dropping people. They're like, oh yeah, online on YouTube helped me immensely. Tyler Oakley, Joey Graceffa, all of these people, Hannah Hart. And I thought that was super, super sweet. And I hope they realized that the importance that they brought to a lot of people's lives at the time.
Yeah, Tyler and brings me joy quite frequently. We'll listen to his podcast, Psychobabble, that he does. Don't do that right now. Don't do that. Psychobabble is very
It
good.
listened.
Yeah, oh, okay. Sorry.
Sorry about that. Sorry. I thought now? No, not now. Not now.
No, okay, yeah, no. Wait till I turn you off.
For those of you listening in your car with a big smile on your face, joyfully because you're listening to Valleycast, Elliot had a little bit of a video glitch, and it was kind of funny. If you watch the video version, you'll see
Really
it.
funny. It was really funny.
It
We
was
made some
silly.
lulls out of it, you know?
It was just a silly time. I love the timing on it. Like, don't do that now, and then it just stopped.
Very Andy Kaufman of him. Anyway,
That's me.
Psychobabble. What?
Psychobabble's a great podcast. He does with Corey Cool, who beat me in fantasy last week and did a very funny bit where he made fun of me in a very effective way that actually did upset me to my core a little bit because I have a shtick and he took my shtick with his shtick.
He took your shtick and beat you with it.
He did. He beat me with my shtick. And their podcast, though, is truly like so funny for those who want to listen to other men talk to each other.
Yeah, not sponsored yet, but Elliot, I've actually never listened to it. What is it? Just a talkie talk today? Is there a point? What's their thing?
They talk about all sorts of stuff. They talk about current events, pop culture stuff, you know, typical run of the mill, but they're so funny. Like Tyler and Corey together are such a funny group and highly intelligent humans talking about real great stuff. And just the clever, I mean, they're just very funny. One day will be funny, but they actually already are, and that's really cool.
Look, we have something to shoot towards.
Exactly.
We have moments of funny. You know, it's not consistent, but they're there.
We get
Right.
there. Every once in a while.
Should we get people updated, Joe, on how well we did with our election predictions? I think everyone's kind of doing that.
Yeah.
I haven't checked.
I can let everybody know with a little anecdote how well I did. So I followed my heart a little bit, and whenever I follow my heart, that's usually a bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
But I still do it anyways because I'm a beta cuck, and I was like, I don't like that Elon Musk guy, so I took a little bit of what I had in Dogecoin and I betted on Kamala.
Yes.
So on the night, I watched Dogecoin skyrocket and then watched Kamala's numbers not skyrocket. And then I went, yeah, I deserve that.
You know, I had a passing thought, Joe, because I know that in times we've talked about those little like $20, $50 purchases. In my memory, you haven't had a great track record with buying before they go. And so when you were talking about buying the Kamala thing, there was a little part of me that was like,
maybe don't do
I'm
that.
probably not going to do
There was
that.
a part of me that thought it too. 100%. Yep.
Like I'm never good at this, but maybe this time will be different.
Well,
I
it's
really
crazy
think
to have that.
subconsciously- I think subconsciously I was trying to affect the winds of change. I think I was just like, you know what? Fuck it. If I believe hard enough with a couple $100, let's not get it twisted, guys. I had nothing in Doge.
Well, there was just this kind of like naive, like like, what's the word I'm looking for?
Naivete.
It was like a naivete. It was like a naive optimism that like this country was ready for a woman president. And but like the overwhelming turnout shows us that we're just like we're not the majority. The people that want a woman president and some massive change is not the majority. Like people just want things to stay the same or go more in favor of going backwards. And it was really disheartening to feel for like a moment that we might be ready for that. We might be like progressive enough. But then I keep remembering that the history of this country is really where all the answers are. You know what I mean? Like we've known that this is like the majority of this country just kind of they want to close their borders and just have their American way. And it's really selfish and disheartening and crushing.
I think it's a small part of reality.
Not
So this is how I find out who you voted for.
So he's a libtard. All right.
Or is it cold in here? So many snowflakes.
Yeah, Burr. Ooh, chill.
One big one. I think it's a small part of the reality pie. The more I dig into it, it's just the Gen Z thing is fascinating because you have to remember that the only thing that many young men have seen for the past 12 years, their whole lives, is a certain type of bravado and machoism that equates to success, and that's what they think a leader is, and that's what they've seen not just all the way up to the presidency, but everything online, from Rogan to the Paul brothers to these people.
Toby Turner.
And we're post Me Too, and there's a pendulum swing there. There's just a lot, and the economy really was a big thing at the end of the day, and Kamala was in a pretty lose-lose situation.
Yep, and I don't think the Democrats have done a great job across the board, but I don't think they've done a great job of welcoming young men in general. And so it leaves very little room for them to find like a space in the leftosphere where they feel welcome, and which can very easily draw them into other ideologies. But the shift is pretty remarkable. I voted crazy 3 times, so I did my...
Yeah, I did 5 or 6.
Yeah, okay. 5, really, okay. I didn't care that much.
I lost track. I voted so many times.
I feel like because I enjoy politics and I think I'm right about everything, that I deserve more than one vote.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of people didn't know that Kamala was...
votes.
There were people who didn't know Kamala was on the ballot.
Yep.
There were people who, if you look at the trends of searches of who's running for president, the day before the election, it skyrockets. And because I knew I deserve more voting.
You studied for the test.
They should give us a chance to vote in the place of the people that weren't going to vote, that were never going to vote anyway.
Look, at the end of the day, I do think there's inherent sexism and misogyny. I think there's some inherent racism in there as well. But I just think, like Ellie was saying, the Democrats are not in tune with the true undercurrent and undertones of what people are feeling like, and they want to burn down the establishment because the establishment isn't listening to them, and they don't feel like it is doing anything for them. The establishment promised in the last 4 years that they would change it for the better, and they did in some ways, but the Democrats are really bad at letting the world know how they did it. And then they also promised that Biden was going to be this bridge to the younger generation, and he dropped out too late. And then nobody
Biden
was.
Biden also promised he would be literally a bridge candidate, and that he would step down after 1 term, which would have given time for there to be a primary, given time for people to actually get to know Kamala, get a time for actual Democratic Party to be able to choose a candidate. But yeah, I think him not stepping down is not going to bode well for him historically.
I just think that with all of these opportunities to elect a female president and someone who's like more than qualified to actually be a president, it just shows that like we're so much further behind than we kind of thought, like it really felt like, I mean, I guess it's the echo chamber, right? It's the social media echo chamber and like the internet echo chamber, and we're blocking out and unfollowing and downvoting all of the like Republican shit that's like intolerant that we don't want to see. And so we've curated these algorithms that have kind of led us to believe that there is a vast majority of people that want this kind of change in the country. And it's just that we need a criminal Democrat that makes blowjob motions on TV, and then we'll finally get maybe more of a fight. I don't know.
Dude, a little crassness from the left would actually be okay, but a little fight from the left would be okay. I agree, Steve, to a point. I think if Nikki Haley was on the ticket and she was running against Kamala or she was running against Biden, I think she still would have won.
Wow, that's interesting.
That's how bad the economy is. That's how bad the people think the economy is affecting them, because again, there is a right-wing propaganda machine that is yelling all the time, and it's based in fear, and it's based in I'll change it for you without providing anything. It's very emotional.
It's just crazy how much they think that they're relating to those people when in fact that they're just not even in the same tax bracket, and they're not even, there's no actual connection between these candidates and these people.
Trump is very good at telling the people what they want to hear in their souls.
He's just a con artist. He's always been a con artist.
But that's his gift.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
Tell people what they think they want to hear. He doesn't have to follow it up with, this is how I'm going to do it. He just says, I'm going to do it because you're hurting.
It's just, it's snake oil, because everybody's like clamoring for some kind of fucking answer or something. And they want someone in charge that sounds like they do and believes in the same shit they do. And
in times, when people feel chaotic, they turn towards strongmen, the strongman kind of.
Yeah, people look for a leader. It's just, that's just like, isn't that like, what's the word? Like, that's just how we are, right? Like, you put us in a room with 10 people that we've never met in our lives, and the first person that takes charge is suddenly the leader without being appointed or without being, told that they're the leader. There's just, everyone needs someone to kind of take charge, because not everybody wants to take charge.
There's an interesting point as well. Like, I'm a little Pod Save America bitch, and I'll listen to them to get some perspective a lot from the left. And they made a good point. I think they said it on Kimmel as well. The whole world, it isn't just us. It isn't just one political party. It isn't left. It isn't right. It isn't centrist. Post pandemic, this inflation insanity that everybody's been going through has been toppling leaders in every country that were the incumbent. It didn't matter if they were right. It didn't matter if they were left. Everybody is looking to blame their struggles on somebody and looking for an immediate change, and they don't care how they get it. And the person that says, I can do it, I'm going to be not that guy, they're getting elected around the world, and we just happen to be where we are.
Right. Yeah, and I mean, I think that, like, I try to keep the focus and the criticism on the Democratic Party, because that's the one where I most am, I also get incredibly frustrated with them. But like COVID, if COVID hadn't happened, we probably would have had 8 years of Trump already, because that was a time also where people were incredibly upset and dissatisfied. And so it's like, there's not a lot of forethought or a lot of like, what's this going to impact for the next 20 years? It's like, what am I feeling right now economically? And if it's good, I'm going to keep the incumbent in. And if it's bad, I'm going to kick him out. And that's been historically like always the case. So I think that's like, it blows my, what blew my mind initially is basically, and still does, is the messaging that they went with strategically. Like I think that they were using this sort of like neoliberal Clinton model that just isn't effective anymore. And when they came out on the Democratic National Convention and they were like, we're going to talk about joy. This is going to be about joy. I was like, I don't think that's a good move, because when people are not feeling good about themselves, you don't want to walk out on stage and go like, we're going to be happy. And it's like, that's not going to resonate with people.
But
and
it's
then you
crazy
get Trump going up there and he's going like, everything sucks. This place is a garbage can. And people are like, yeah, that's closer to what I actually feel. So It's
but like like, you know, it's easy to talk about it this way now that we are where we are, like the idea that like this is what the Democrats should have done and this is what they could have
hindsight's
done, and
always 2020.
right,
Yeah.
and it's like
But I knew
but
that like
yeah.
they've had plenty of times to like figure out a better strategy than what they do with people,
Well,
and
but
they're
it
not
feels
talking to
like it
working class
speaks for
people.
itself in the sense that like, you know, it's Trump is just like spouting bullshit like all day, every day. And there's like actual evidence that it's bullshit. And it's like, you know, like the Democrats could have the best tactics in their belt, you know, for that current time. But the fact remains is that like this person is just not qualified for this. Like, and I think that's like understood across the board that this guy's not really qualified to be a president.
People
And it's
don't
like,
care.
it's crazy that it's literally just words is all it needs to be, regardless of the truth, you know? And it's like the truth, you'd think that the truth would matter more in these situations.
No, it's I can't eat in my I feel like can't have a job and the gas prices are too hard. That's what people care about, unfortunately, when they're struggling. You can't see 3 years down the line. You see right now what's going to change right now. If you look at the exit polls, there's another fascinating thing that happened. Trump won the popular vote, but on the question of like, do you like Donald Trump as a human? It was like 55 to 60% said no. So this is people that were voting for him. They knew he was bad. They knew
they
they
don't care.
didn't like him, but they didn't care because he's promising the change that they desire.
I think that they just don't want their guns to be taken away. They don't want their kids to be trans, and they don't want.
It's a small part of it.
I think it's a
and
little
religion. I think is a huge fucking part of it too, big time.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the messaging, because it's been 10 years of the Democrats going, but he's bad, he's a bad person, and to consistently be shocked that like that argument isn't working is just like, why are you?
He's a felon. Like we can't isn't a felon a bad person though? Like isn't a felon a bad person?
No, I think I actually totally disagree. I never thought the felon talking point was that bad, because I think felons should be able to run for president, should be able to vote.
But it depends on what they're a felon for. Like,
sure.
If they're stealing secrets and sharing it with Russia, that's bad.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, I'm just saying in general, I'm like, that's like, for them, that's a badge of honor. But I also just politically don't think felons should be excised from the political arena. But that's
such a gray area. It's like, what are they a felon for? Are they like, like stealing money from poor people? Are they sexually assaulting people? Like that there's a lot. It's like, I'm okay with felons, but to what degree, you know?
Yeah,
like,
and it's like, do you want someone to be president who is charged with felon for paying off someone to lie to the people about, to, you know, say that, you know, pay off a porn star to make it seem like you're this like morally righteous person? I mean, on those credentials, I wouldn't vote for him. But the felon thing alone, I don't think is anything to.
It's just, well, but that's the thing. It's like, it's not just the felon thing alone. It's the lack of qualification to be a politician in general. Like, there's a massive list of reasons why not. Like, but felon is just certainly one of them. But when there's all of these reasons, you know, it's just like really frustrating, because it's like, you know, certainly people want, you know, the status quo. They want what they want, and they're going to vote for their own interests. But there's so much proof. There's so much proof that this person is just politically not qualified.
But you also have to remember that everybody thinks every politician isn't qualified. They hate the establishment. That's the point.
But you could just easily find that there's someone who actually put the work in, actually has like, you know, like a
but
past.
That's what they don't care. They
like
don't care right now.
That kills me inside.
They don't care right now because politicians inherently, this is why Trump keeps getting power, is because they are failing the voting cause. And because of that, they hate politicians. So putting another politician, Kamala's a politician, putting her in that space, she's super, super qualified. But that's not what they want to see right now. And that's not what they want to hear right now.
We don't want a qualified. We don't want someone qualified to run the country. That's what they're saying. It breaks all of my everything I believe in.
You could flip that argument though, because you could easily say that Trump is more qualified because he was actually president for 4 years, whereas Kamala never was.
Yeah.
I mean,
he wasn't qualified then either.
First of all, how dare you?
I don't want to. I do want to throw out that I don't want to dismiss what you're saying because I feel exactly the same way.
It's just crushing.
I woke up on, in 2016, the day after, completely shocked, and I think I walked away around a daze for weeks.
Dude,
on the next morning this time, less shocked, more disgusted. I mean, we elected a rapist, felon, insurrectionist, horrible person that is the worst version of leadership and what I truly think it means to be a man for this young generation. I'm disgusted, but I think it's deeper than the surface level reasons that are easy for us to believe. Obviously, because they won the fucking popular vote.
I mean, this is this is no pun intended, but this is straight up where we're at. I mean, I think it's the first time in 20 years that a Republican has won the electorate. And I think that the fear I have, I was rewatching that horse in a hospital video, but that John Mulaney bit where he's like, there's a horse loose in the hospital, and it's like, I think everything will be fine, but I have to check constantly on what the horse is doing. And it is like, oh yeah, we did it again. We let a horse in the hospital. I've been doing, how they're saying everyone's kind of doing this everyone's processing in their own way. And you guys were talking about being off of social media and kind of taking a break or getting out of the information sort of loophole, or not loophole, pipeline. But I've been the opposite, where I've been just sort of emotionally not totally. Obviously I have immediate fears regarding neighbors and regarding the idea of some of his more extreme policy measures being put in place. And I'm empathetic toward everyone, including myself, who feels this sort of sense of oh God, it's so unpredictable. But I've been processing it by just watching all of the takes on it. And basically the consensus that it seems is that there is no one reason for this happening. It's this is basically going to give us 4 years to come up with a better way of planning and messaging and getting people out to understand it. I think the one silver lining is that if Kamala had won, but we'd lost the Senate, I think in 4 years we would have this situation again.
I think people were afraid that their guns were going to be eventually taken away and abortions were going to be rampant, and the fear of taking God out of the schools and religion out of our schools and shit. There's just so much.
For some.
Yeah.
For some of them, yeah. But not that's not the reason. I mean, again, apologies to all of you who didn't come here for a political podcast, but we are coping.
We can't help it because we live here, and it's what's in our brains, and that's what this show is. It's a spilling of what's in our brains.
The voting numbers at the end of the day, pretty much the same amount of people came out and voted for Trump as last came out and voted for the Democratic side. That there just wasn't a message that inspired the Democrats.
The Democrats going out and pretending to be Republicans made them earn precisely 0 Republican votes, rather than going toward the left and positioning themselves with actual policies that would help people in a real material way. They were like, yeah, we're going to do the border too. We're going to do the wall as well. And we're going to have the most lethal military. And I was like, I don't think people are going to buy this. And they didn't. Bad strategy.
Yep.
I just don't want to die at a strapping 70 years old and having struggled through the intolerance of this country and having fought for it and have it lead to a little bit, why I died early because I'm so stressed out. And
I was going to say 70. I was like, is that the high end of what you're hoping for?
I just feel like this stress and the, just everything will lead to an early demise. And I just want to focus on like things that matter the most to me in my personal life, like my family and friends, and enjoying what little time we might have left with these rights and this health care that would seem to be heading in a decent direction. And now who knows where all of this is going to be in the next 5 to 10 years or whatever.
Oh yeah, I mean, look, man, I'm terrified for my wife. Like the ACA will be repealed, be taken away at some point now. It'll hopefully get caught up in the courts for a while, but people with pre-existing conditions and the less fortunate I'm terrified for them.
Yeah.
And I don't know how the system will work after that, because they truly, again, campaign on emotion and not plans, because they've always had a concept of a plan. And what they're going to do is rip all this shit away without actually following up with any sort of infrastructure, not just healthcare, for everything.
Yeah.
And that's terrifying, because the goobers are in charge.
The Coopers. That's very funny.
I just read something that said that the White House is like quietly distancing themselves from RFK. Did you guys read that?
No,
and
I've heard the
his
opposite.
current statements about healthcare.
Yeah, because he's talking about getting rid of the fluoride in the water so that the baby's teeth can fall out immediately, and getting rid of vaccines so that their teeth can fall out and they can be scratching themselves the whole time. And he's talking about legalizing psychedelics. So I think he should legalize psychedelics, but put the psychedelics in the water supply.
In the fluoride.
And then, and then everyone like give Trump some shrooms, let him understand the oneness of us all. And I actually think we're going to be,
I just want to live like as happily as I can live under my own abilities. Like, that's it. Like it used to feel like we really have to work hard for every other person also. And it's like, I think it just boils down to finding what makes you happy, doing the best that you can, and being a nice person and a kind person to others in your lives. But like, we're just fighting to help people, and we keep getting knocked down while we try to help these people. And it's just so disheartening. It's like, what stage of grief are we in perpetually that we can't just realize that the answer is just to be kind to the people around you and find the happiness in your little slice of time in this, like, whatever time we have as humans. Like, it's time to be a little more selfish. Maybe Joe couldn't take it.
No, he's out.
Joe couldn't take it. Joe's like, being selfish? No, thank you.
This happened last time where his computer just crapped out of nowhere. I'm like, Joe, what are you operating? I'm imagining him when he's looking at us with one of those Nickelodeon like piano things, and that's his computer.
Like with all the dials and handles and shit. Like Jackson's turning a wheel that's like
the thing that Doc Brown uses to make an ice cube in Back to the Future 3.
I just can't believe Elon Musk is throttling Joe's family's internet right now.
It's a Skylink, dude.
What happened?
One funny thing that like was very surreal, not funny, but the next day after everything, because Grace and I watched the election results, and it was kind of one of those things of like just going down like the snowball getting bigger, like, oh, okay, we're done.
Right.
But then the next day, Grace did her first ever solo one-person show at the Elysian Theater, which was really nice, and people did come out for that. I was a little worried.
I'm so sorry. Fuck, I completely forgot.
No, it's okay.
I was asleep.
And then
his computer crashed
for days.
Oh, God. Dude, Joe, you almost crashed again. You're all right? How's your internet?
I'm good.
But anyway, I had to open for her. Well, I didn't have to. I got to, but before, it was already stressful enough because it's her show about cancer, and so I was like, I'm gonna open for my wife, and I have to get him excited before she talks about cancer. And then when she was asking me to do it, I was like, when is it? And she was like, it's the day after the election. And I was like, okay, that'll be fine. Everybody's gonna be in a great mood. And so it was this weird thing of like going out on stage and being like I opened it by going, how you guys doing tonight? I'm just kidding. You don't have to, I'm just kidding. You don't have to do, don't
How y'all do it?
I'm kidding. Yeah, don't answer. Not sorry.
But you also don't know who's
One
in the
guy
fucking
in the back was
audience.
like, yeah, woo!
Okay, so I found this article,
Yeah.
guys. Let's not do too much more on politics, but I did want to say that it's from the Telegraph, and it says Trump campaign quietly distances itself from RFK Jr. after new vaccine safety comments, and says that Republicans concerned former independent candidate would struggle to make it through security clearance for top government role.
Whoa, that guy?
Who is the subject of a series of bizarre stories involving animals. Which, again, doesn't this sound like shit you'd read about happening in the 1800s? Like local politician not fit to be, like candidate because they ate a bear and they're dying. That now they have scarlet rubella or something. It's like. It sounds so old. This like crazy, like this guy that might be the head of the FDA is like he ate a bear and has brain worms. Like that doesn't that
It's
like
so funny.
it's just fucking it would be funnier if it wasn't happening right now. If this happened
That's true.
50 years ago, I'd be like, this is the funniest shit. We need to make a sketch about this.
Yeah, it sounds like one of those today.
Those Rosenbergs are getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But it says Mr. Kennedy said he would seek to fix the huge deficits in vaccine safety, but clarified, quote, we're not going to take vaccines away from anybody. And according to CNN, a source close to Mr. Trump said, quote, that is not what we want people focused on today. So he's throwing RFK under the bus already.
Oh, weird.
He's the first. So it seems like he's the first of the gang to be tossed out.
Elliot, you are very good at,
Thank
and
you.
I've been trying to do this.
Thank you, preemptively. You can just stop there because
You're good.
Hi, podcast over. Look, I'm trying to mentally put myself in the shoes of the people that are happy and that are excited, maybe even for non-selfish reasons. And maybe I have to have some conversations outside of my bubble that are a little bit more nuanced. However, like, it's a coping mechanism as well. I'm like, where's the good here? Like, what can I look forward to? Like,
Yeah.
what do you think? 4 years. Did I stop again? God damn it.
where you said,
heard
where do you think
4
we'll
years.
be in 4 years?
What do you think the people that are excited about this change and this Republican sweep, what do you think they truly are going to get out of these next 4 years that make them so excited? Outside of like, my gas prices are going down, because I think that's like almost like dehumanizing their point of view to a point.
It's like placating.
it's more-
It's like it's dangling the carrot in front of their faces more than anything.
Yeah.
Because it isn't just the uneducated or the like. There's people that are on the other side that are. We know that the rich, and we know, but there's also for Democrats. Like,
Yeah, I think that, I mean, I guess I think that because they're reactionary, they're excited about the very fact that their team won, and they feel like, honestly, that whole thing of like the status quo versus change, I think Trump represents for them change in general more so than Kamala did, because she was so closely tied to the Biden administration. So I would
he
say
was
that
the Biden.
I know that there's like also on the far left, there's the accelerationist argument, that where it's like there are people on the left who support the idea of an insane Trump presidency as a way of tearing down, getting to a place where the system is torn down.
A lot of the
more.
roadblocks.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, I
Interesting.
don't know. Yeah, I think they're mostly just happy that they're
Their side one. Yeah, it's a lot of tribalism.
It's
for sure.
just like sports shit. It's like my
Mhm.
team won, and now I want to go run around with a flag on my car and honk horns with people, and
It is
which
interesting.
isn't to say that we wouldn't have done the same thing on our end, but
No, we don't have a uniform. That's the problem. Sports analogy really works for them because
well, to
they
them, our
literally-
uniform is the LGBTQ flag, the rainbow flag, or something. You
No,
know,
but they actually sport jerseys. It's like the left doesn't do that
because
They
they're not. Yeah, they didn't capitalize. They didn't capitalize on a like But that's the other thing. It's like all the tackiness, like the Trump superstores that you could go into and buy nothing but Trump stuff, like. The tacky aspect of the capitalism surrounding merchandising of politicians is like another fucking gross, weird, tacky, like, that it's like the plastic on your couch, live, laugh, love pillow.
No, I don't like it, but if you think about it for 2 seconds, it makes you feel like you're part of a team. Like
But
they
that's
all are
that's
sporting
and
the
that's
same
it.
shit.
That's
They have
it.
they have- You know?
Yeah. And it's a team that like, you know, these people want to feel like they're part of a team because some of them are lost and have no direction. And it's the same with how religion kind of pulls people in with the whole kind of like, are you lost? Do you have no direction? Well, join us and you'll be a part of a family. And, it's that whole like people don't know how to find their way and find their place in this world. And they'll take like kind of like, well, if you join these guys, look at all these other guys that are at these rallies having a great time. You could be buddies with these guys and drink with them, and
or you can get told you're a racist, misogynist piece of crap, and an idiot from the other side.
Yeah.
So, which would you like to do? You want to come have fun, drink beer, and wear American flags, or do you want to feel bad about yourself because the coastal elites think you're scum?
Yeah, because they want to look at where they could get away with their racism and not be yelled at for being racist. They could just like join their buddies and be racist and not be hassled about it.
I mean, I think assuming racism and misogyny inherently with them is a bad tack.
I know, but how do we ignore? How is that an ignore? We can't ignore that part of it.
I think there's plenty
Like,
of also othering that happens on the left where
sure.
Yeah, and including racism and sexism.
Yeah, for sure. But it just seems like there's more inherent usage of bigotry in some tactics, not on one side, but more on the other.
Like we're on the left. We don't like women or
Well, no, we don't. Yeah, no, we don't.
Thank you.
etc.
Women serve one purpose, and is to procreate and to create more
dude.
Republicans.
The far right little trolls with their like, we'll stop talking about it. But the whole like, be nice. Like, stop doing this thing with the trending of the.
But no one's being
Nick
nice.
Fuentes and the your body my choice stuff. It's like,
Oof.
have some class. Have some. Don't do this. You don't need to do this. Be better. Be kind. But that's Nick Fuentes. He's
I think
That's the
kindness
conversation
is-
that I've been having.
Yeah, kindness is low on the priority list. It feels like on both sides.
Are you familiar with Fuentes, Steve? Have you seen this guy?
No,
He like right before the election, he started talking about how pissed he was at the Republican Party because the reason he liked them is they were what was it? Anti-woman, racist, and what was the other one? It was anti-Semitic. And he was like, now the Republican Party is just against women. He's like, we need to also, or no, I forget. Oh, now it's just racist. He was like, we also need to be against women and we need to be anti-Semitic.
Jesus Christ. Why? How does that help anything?
And that guy had dinner with Trump.
Hate's a powerful drug.
It's just all these people that want to be pardoned for the things that they'll eventually be fucked over for. And they're trying to like get in the good graces of the great pardoner of horrible things.
Dude, power is fucking addictive.
Power's a hell of a drug. You guys hear about Florida Man a lot. Like Florida Man is, gets a lot of shit. Like they're horrible. They do terrible things. They're eating people's faces off, whatever. But I've got a Florida man for you that'll make you guys feel kind of good. You guys like that? You guys want to hear about a good Florida man?
Mm-hmm. Ron DeSantis.
For once. So this Ron DeSantis guy. It could be a little upsetting, so I'll just tell you guys what the subject matter is, and there is a video associated with it that could be upsetting to some people, but there's a happy ending, and it's very harrowing and crazy to watch. But there was a 74-year-old man in Florida that pulled his puppy out of an alligator's mouth and saved the puppy's life. Do you guys want to see this?
Yes. Yeah. Does he put a puppy-shaped stuffed animal in it like Indiana Jones so it doesn't notice?
He's like, let's trick this alligator. Let me trick the. These alligators are fucking stupid.
That's so fun.
Okay, here we go. For those of you that might be upset by this kind of thing, please don't look. But I will say,
dad.
The puppy is alive. The puppy survived.
Elliot's dad.
That's my dad.
That's a tiny gator.
Yeah. When I was in college, they taught us how to like wrangle gators for our zoology degree. And that was the one I did was a little bigger than that one.
How do you wrangle them?
Well, they exist like many reptiles along the similar axial system. And so you want to go up the axial system and start by grabbing its tail, and you want to shake it a little bit so it's aware of you. And then in one fell swoop, you pull it backwards.
Yeah, you do.
Then you get on top of it. You put your yep. And then, so listen to this. And then you grab its mouth by, well, first you start at its neck, and then you slowly go up. Okay. And as long as you can keep it shut up, like, or, you know, as you go, then you're fine. It's relatively easy to keep the mouth closed. The power that when it's open is a much different situation. But
right, because it's the force of it.
Tail.
It's the force of it snapping that's powerful, not necessarily opening, right?
Right.
Okay.
You gotta
and would
watch
that
out.
work?
Death roll.
Yeah.
Oh, that death roll. That's some scary shit.
Like, it's pretty fun.
There's got to be a rock band or a metal band called Death Roll, huh?
Yeah.
Do you guys know
that would be dumb?
That would be, yeah. Do you guys know when you visit a subreddit and then you see posts from that subreddit all the time, even if you're not subscribed to it?
Yeah.
Well, there's one that I've been enjoying a little bit, and I think that you guys would be both good at guessing this and good at creating it. And it's called r/explain a film plot badly.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah. And so this is I screenshot this. Here we go. A strange doctor can no longer practice medicine following a car accident. A mysterious mentor teaches him how to manipulate his dimension. He travels to a dark dimension and risks being stuck in it forever. Did I mention he's strange?
You're making me feel like you're about to curveball me.
They're often traps. So
say it again. Read it again.
A strange doctor can no longer practice medicine following a car accident. A mysterious mentor teaches him how to manipulate his dimension. He travels to a dark dimension and risks being stuck in it forever. Did I mention he's strange?
What is it? I don't know. What is it? What is it?
You don't have any guesses?
No.
I'm gonna say I'll guess.
Because there'll be baits. A lot of them are bait. Like you'll think of one, but also in the subreddit, you're not allowed to do like Lord of the Rings or Star Wars or anything.
Okay, yeah, because that's too easy.
Doctor.
I mean, it's not Doctor Strange.
That would be the bait. Incorrect.
So what? Okay, well then this is good. Then what could be a movie where
A
Doctor
strange doctor can no longer practice medicine following a car accident. A mysterious mentor teaches him how to manipulate his dimension. He travels to a dark dimension and risks being stuck in it forever. Did I mention he's strange? I can give you a hint. It's not
Doctor
strange movie.
Strange? That's the hint.
It's definitely not Doctor Strange.
Can you give us another hint?
I'm starting to like do the piece thing,
Me
and
too.
I want to guess Back to the Future, which it's not Back to the Future, but that's where my mind needs to be. It needs to be like in that kind of realm.
Yeah, that's good, Joe. That's a good place to start.
I'll give you the year it came out. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah.
1998. Would you like to hear some other guesses?
Is it Meet Joe Black?
Someone said Field of Dreams.
Okay.
No, it's not. Someone said Dark City.
What Dreams May Come?
That's correct, Steve. You just did it, dude.
No way! It's What Dreams May Come?
Yeah.
Oh shit! What makes him strange?
I don't know.
I guess, but you're explaining it badly, so
Yeah.
Because it's Robin Williams?
yeah.
Yeah, I didn't really. Or if it's just a weird movie, maybe people. I don't know.
That movie blew me away.
I remember as a kid, like I think maybe before, like in high school, watching it and being like, "What is this?"
It was like my favorite movie for a couple months. What fun fact about that movie, and I think I've told you guys before, there's a part where they're in like a mountainous region and there's a bunch of flowers just kind of like blowing across the slope. That was in Glacier National Park, and those were a bunch of paper flowers that they didn't clean up.
Oh god. That's great. So you could
Cool.
find those for years all in that area probably.
Just in the bear's hair. They put it's pretty.
There's so many bears with little paper flowers stuck to them. That's kind of cute. Did you know that there was a Herbie movie where they dumped a real, like, fully working Volkswagen into the ocean and just left it there and didn't retrieve it? Fucking littering fucks.
Fun.
Man, fuck Disney, dude.
Anyway,
Whoa. All right,
guy goes to strange lengths to get a building named after him. Explain a film plot badly.
that's the plot.
Hint 1, this guy chose the building type and name. Hint 2, the strange thing he does is volunteer for a job that might get him killed.
I hate this. This is worse than movie.
This is really hard. It's hard.
It is really hard. I think I've gotten exactly 0.
Can we get the year that came out?
I don't have the
You don't have that in front of you.
I don't even have the answer yet.
Okay, so they go
You know, you gotta really
go to
scroll
great
down.
lengths to have a building named after them.
It's not The Emperor's New Groove, and it's not Rush Hour 2. Now I have it. Yes.
And they
Let's find out when it came out.
And
You got
said
the other one, Steve. Maybe you can...
Cotopia.
Okay, this is 1968.
Cotopia.
Nope.
Oh,
It's the Green Berets.
Is that the answer?
Yeah. That one wasn't good.
This is like when this is like when you like, did you guys ever get like a Trivial Pursuit from, like, you'd go to your grandma's house and it'd be Trivial Pursuit like 1990.
the old ones?
Yeah. Or like 1970s Trivial Pursuit. It's like, dude, I don't know this fucking movie. Robert Redford plays a detective. It's like, I don't fucking know.
Nixon's Secretary of State's wife was.
All right. Well, guys, thanks for listening. Apologies to anyone who was not looking forward to hearing political discourse, but you know, again, it's just so fresh on our minds, and the three of us haven't had a chance to kind of shoot the shit about it and share our feelings, and it's post election, and it's just it's all we can think about right now, on top of all the other bullshit we have to deal with. So please forgive.
Call the title of this one. We're going to call this one Coos Copetopia.
Yeah. Coos Copetopia. That's great. Text me that or I'll forget it. Well, no, I have it right here and I'll be editing it. All right, guys. Well, thanks for listening. We appreciate you. And don't worry about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry. We appreciate you, everybody. Thank you so much. Drink water, everyone.
Drink water and be nice to people.
Yep. Including us.
Please.
Please, for the love of God.
Love us. Love us. Validate us, please.
You got the